With the writers and actor strikes finally over, there have been more casting announcements for Superman Legacy. They're introducing even more characters from the DC Universe in an already, what some say, crowded movie. Let's talk about why this is actually really different from what Zack Snyder did in his second Superman movie. So first off, let's talk about some of the things we already know about James Gunn's new DC Universe. He's just going to go ahead and jump to where our heroes are still young, but they're very well established in the universe, and so are all these other characters that we've heard about. The chances of this long list of characters being main roles in the Superman movie, probably very, very low. I definitely think this movie is going to stay focused on Superman and the story that's trying to be told. That brings up this question of how is he going to introduce this long list of characters in the Superman movie without making it feel overcrowded? Chances are they're just going to be very short cameos. Maybe a character shows up on the news. Maybe Superman goes by a character. Maybe he talks to a character for about 5 seconds. It's going to be very short, and they're not going to be filling up the screen all the time. And if I'm wrong, I'll make a video about that and I'll complain, because I would agree that that would be just a way too crowded movie and it takes away from the story that they're trying to tell with Superman. That kind of leads me to what Zack Snyder did with Batman vs. Superman. He made The Man of Steel, which was admittedly a very good movie. I didn't like the choice that he had to kill Zod, but moving on from that and overlooking that, the second movie, he immediately pins Batman against Superman. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. If you want to take a universe and build up to Batman vs. Superman, that would be fantastic. You just need to take a lot more time than he actually did to build up to that. Because I think Batman and Superman are the best when they're actually best friends. And watching their friendship fall apart over the course of a couple movies and then them fighting would just make that movie a lot more emotional and have a lot more impact on the audience. Not only did he immediately pin Batman against Superman, he introduced a couple other characters to set up the Justice League. I think because of this reason, Henry Cavill's Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman didn't really get a chance to shine with a super dark movie with them fighting each other and then them also trying to set up later movies, very much so in this one film. Them trying to set up these future movies in that one film really took away from the story, in my opinion. And then we're not even going to mention the whole Martha scene. I also don't even think we should talk about the design of Doomsday, because that was horrendous. It also kind of seems like he took some of the other characters from the DC comics and just took those personalities and attached them to a different character for his universe. And Lex Luthor is the most obvious character to talk about with this. I mean, Lex Luthor in Snyder's universe in the DCEU was more like the Riddler, in my opinion, than he was Lex Luthor. Now, maybe we just didn't get to see him develop into Lex Luthor more, but it still felt kind of like psychotic and not really this narcissist sociopath that Lex Luthor actually is. So really the main difference that I find with the James Gunn universe, or the plans for James Gunn's universe and Superman movie, and Zack Snyder's universe that he created, is that Zack really used the Batman vs. Superman movie to set up future projects. I think James Gunn is going to make his Superman movie very much about Superman and that story he's trying to tell, with some other characters sprinkled in that we might see later on down the line with their own projects. I definitely don't see James Gunn throwing all these characters in our faces and then making a lot of the movie about them and not Superman. I think that's where Zack Snyder actually messed up, is that some of the characters that he threw in as like cameos or whatever it might be, they became like really main characters of those films. I hope I articulated my position on the Gunn versus Snyder universes, because honestly, we don't know how Gunn's going to handle the DC universe, and we'll find out whenever it happens. If he doesn't do what I just explained, and it's really like thrown in your face with all these different characters and it takes away from the story he's trying to tell with Superman, I'm going to be right here on YouTube filming my review, complaining about it. If it's great, then I'm also going to be right here throwing my review and talking about how much I love it. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. And make sure you subscribe, drop a like here, and let me know down in the comments, what do you think Gunn is going to do with the new DC universe? I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.